Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining me for the video today. In it, I wanted to go over who are the top 5 best wide receiver quarterback duos in the NFL right now. Now, a couple things on this. You are gonna see some names and some teams and players that did not make the cut, and that is because their counterparts were just not up to snuff. I wanted to do the best combination, so there are gonna be some elite guys that were left off of the list. I'm also gonna go over a couple honorable mentions, people that just barely missed the cut as well. But before we get into all of that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider giving me a like and subscribe. The support I get means the world to me. It helps me out a ton, and I greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into this version of Hot Off the Press. We are gonna start with my honorable mentions in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Now, Justin Herbert is on the rise, and he could break into that elite category by the end of 2022, and I would not bet against this kid. He's shown an incredible amount of talent in a very short period of time. Few have been more consistent than Keenan Allen over the last 4 years. So perhaps I'm taking that for granted just a little bit, but he is a step below the top guys for me. There is no doubt that these two are quite a duo and will be for years to come, and it was really hard to keep them off of my list. To Dallas next with the Cowboys, and last year was supposed to be the one where CeeDee Lamb absolutely blew up, but Amari Cooper got in the way, and they decided to lean more heavily on that rushing game, and it ended up taking him down just a little bit. Dak and Lamb could certainly make me regret leaving them off, but they have to do a little bit more together before I put them in the top 5. Now, 2,000 yards in 2 seasons is certainly not bad for Lamb by any means, but he is not elite yet. To Vegas and the Raiders with Derek Carr and Davante Adams. Now, this combo likely makes the list next year, but before I put them in, I need to see them in action first. Carr and Adams have the advantage of playing together in college, so the transition for them should be significantly shortened. I bet that they absolutely ball out. Carr is a top 12 talent at the position for me, and Adams is the best in the game, so I have a hard time believing that this does not work out splendidly for the Raiders. To the desert in Arizona with the Cardinals, and the combination of Kyler Murray and Nuke Hopkins. Now, Hopkins is one of my favorite players in the entire NFL, but injuries derailed his 2021 campaign. I am hoping he comes back healthy next year and sets the league on fire, and he's got a great shot to, with one of the best young quarterbacks at the helm in Murray, who's got MVP level talent and had a shot to do it last year before dealing with some injuries of his own. These two could make me look very silly at the end of 2022, and honestly, I hope they do. My last honorable mention is the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper. Now, as with the Carr and Adams pairing, I want to see these two on the field before proceeding. But I believe that Watson is a top 5 talent at the position, and he could elevate Cooper, who will now have a true number 1 wide receiver role. Amari has the opportunity to cement his place as a top 20 wideout, and his ceiling is potentially higher than that. I cannot wait to see this connection. As always, I'm going to start at 5 and work my way down to my number 1 team. And at 5, it's the Minnesota Vikings with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. Now, you can call it a homer pick if you want, but the fact of the matter is that Justin Jefferson is the truth, and he has potentially put together the best 2-year performance to start a career that a wideout ever has. Over 3,000 yards and 17 scores. That is ludicrous. His body control is unbelievable. His route running is art in motion. The sky is the limit here, and there is going to be many more gritties to come. As for Captain Kirk, well, frankly, he's one of the most polarizing players in the league, and that's only partially his fault. Now, if you're a numbers guy, the statistics say that he's elite. They absolutely love everything about him. Cousins has finished near the top of the league in any relevant quarterback category over the last 2 seasons. But the eye test for many is different, and it's hard to argue with that viewpoint too. Cousins has not done enough to change his own narrative. But if we are purely talking about elite combinations, I've got these two guys on my list, and Jet helps him out immensely. Cousins stuffs the stat sheets consistently, and hopefully soon it'll be in big games that actually matter. To number 4 in the Bengals of Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Now, saying Burrow and Chase have the potential to go down as one of the best quarterback wide receiver combinations ever sounds pretty crazy. But if you watched them last year, you know that that's not entirely insane. These two have something special, and they've played less than a combined 3 years in the NFL. If they stay together, who knows what they could accomplish. Jamar Chase has elite speed, hands, and route running ability already, and he's only going to get better. That's a scary thought after the rookie season that he just put up. He's a threat no matter where he lines up, and defenses have to take him to account on every single snap. You know he's also going to try to best what Justin Jefferson did in his second season for an encore. Now to Burrow, who is who we thought he was following that 2020 season marred with injury. He has got an absolute cannon, can make all of the throws, and he's fearless attacking the defense. After getting to the Super Bowl in his first full season at the helm, I cannot wait to see what he comes up with next. Hopefully he's loaded up on cigars because he is going to need them. The Los Angeles Rams are at number 3 with Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. And as a Vikings fan, I am so happy for Matthew Stafford. After watching him rot away in Detroit for years, his Super Bowl victory was well-deserved and hard-earned. Stafford was able to elevate his play, he tied his career high for touchdowns, and he threw for the 3rd most yards that he ever has. He still got plenty left in the tank as the Rams look to run it back, and he could surpass 5,000 yards with Allen Robinson now coming to town. Let the story continue. For Cooper Kupp, I simply do not have enough words to describe how incredible he was in 2021, and trust me, I tried. I ran out after like week 11 in fantasy football rankings. Almost every week he seemed to be one-upping himself, and it culminated with one of the best years a wideout has ever had. He came within 4 receptions of tying Michael Thomas's record, and he was just 17 yards shy of Megatron's. He had 3 more touchdowns than both of those guys combined in their respective record-setting seasons to boot. Kupp is an elite tactician and a genius route runner. He's an acrobat with incredible hands. All right, that's all I got. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers find themselves at 2 with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. You cannot have a top 5 and leave the GOAT off, but I just could not give this trio the top spot. I actually almost bumped them to 3 after the insane season that Cooper Kupp pulled off, but the INTs here for Stafford were the tiebreaker. I also couldn't just pick one of these receivers as they are equally talented in their own way. Big Mike Evans is one of the most dangerous red zone targets in the entire league, and he is a monster in contested catch situations. He's a threat for double-digit touchdowns every single season. Calling Godwin a possession receiver is greatly underselling his skill set, but more or less, that's what he boils down to. With an ability to break to the open field at any given time and a knack for finding how and when to get open. He's incredibly quick, smart, and an excellent safety blanket for Brady to pick apart defenses with. Tom Brady is just getting better. I mean, how else can you describe setting career highs in attempts, completions, and yardage at 44 years old? His 43 touchdowns were the 2nd most of his entire career, and that was surpassed only by his epic 2007 season. It seems like, at this point, he knows where the defense is going to be before they even line up. It is no wonder that he came back. The dude still has it, and even Father Time is giving him a pass. Finally, we get to the top spot. Number 1, I have the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs. And I will admit, I have a soft spot for Stefon Diggs. The Minnesota Miracle was one of the most memorable moments of my entire life. Being able to share that with my wife and parents was truly incredible. And maybe without that, Diggs and Allen don't get the top spot. However, I'm a human being, so cut me some slack. Diggs is a top 7 wideout in the league. He has an incredible talent with a drive for greatness that few people have. He can beat you deep, he is fearless over the middle of the field, and he catches anything relatively close to him. The ball just sticks to his hand on initial contact. He may have started off a little bit slow in 2021, but he ended up blowing past that 1,000-yard mark for the 4th straight year, and he has 230 receptions, 2,760 yards, and 18 touchdowns over the last 2 years. He is likely to push for 1,500 yards again this year. As for Josh Allen, he is just flat out a blast to watch. He does things on the field, both with his arms and with his legs, that leave you in awe. I am still hurting for him after that loss last year to the Chiefs, and I'm likely never going to forgive Leslie Frazier. How does he still have a job, by the way? For his sake. The ball comes out of his hand like a missile, and the accuracy improvement cannot be understated. The array of physical tools at his disposal cannot be matched either. He is the complete package, and he is still ascending. An MVP is inevitable. And with that, we will say farewell for now. I really hope you guys enjoyed the content today. I would love to hear your thoughts on my list and where you guys have people ranked as well. Get that engagement going. It is why I do these. If you are new to the channel, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. I cannot thank you enough for the support. It means so much and it helps me out a bunch. This is Relentless Press. I am your host, Abraham Opatz, and we'll see you next time.